wanted to start out by saying this is not the smallest audience I have talked to. So thank you. I'll be here all week. So the smallest audience that I ever talked to was one, and I was presenting a paper, and it was in the paper presenting world, the time slot you get is the hierarchy. So to give you an idea, I was presenting a paper on Friday afternoon at 3. So I go up there, and there's only one young lady way in the back over there, very, very nicely dressed, and very professional looking, and only one person in the whole audience. And I wanted to invite her up front and talk, but she wouldn't. And then I asked her, Miss, I'm dying to know what was in this topic that so compelled you to come here on a Friday afternoon at 3. And she goes, nothing, I'm the next speaker. So I was like, well, I guess that I have to stay then for the 4 o'clock. And return the favor. Now, the other worst part was that being the lower in the hierarchy, my job was to collect the evaluation. So right before I started at 3 o'clock, I went in there and there were 5 evaluations for the talk I haven't given yet. And 4 of them, like some people just give you highest grades with the circle down, except one guy criticized my Japanese accent. We could not understand the word he said because of his thick Japanese accent. So I'll try not to use my Japanese accent today. Thank you all for coming. And as you may or may not know, my name is Soni. I'm a psychiatrist, not psychologist. Psychiatrist. I'm a skeptic, I'm a student at large, and why it comes to me, I'm around the place. I also had another one there that I'm an award-deserving public speaker. Haven't actually won any awards, but I'm deserving. So, the purpose of today's talk is to become a better consumer of not only goods and services, but also information. There is a quote out there on the internet that says, we live in the age of information, we are swimming in the ocean of information, but we are drowning with ignorance. And that is so true. And I was hoping today that I could shed some light on how to make use of information that's available to us. So I'd like you to take a finger, you can take any finger actually, and cover it so you cannot see this line. Put it in front of your eyes, and the other one, what do you see when you put the line in front of your eye?
Oh, first colors are the same color.
Yeah, they both appear same color. And remove it, and then you will see a little different. So, what is happening when you have the line? What is happening when you have the line? What's happening in your brain? Yeah.
It creates a division. A division to distinctly tell.
Right, that you are able to, But the moment you take the line away, you see the difference, and you put the finger in front of you, the difference disappears. The thing to notice here is that I'm seeing there's a problem.
There are 2 different colors.
But it's slightly different color because, But if you see it on the monitor, it looks a little different. And I know I had this problem before, but the color, even though they appear different, they would be a lot closer than they are without. This is a little illusion that has to do with the normal light and the color balance and all that. The idea is that your brain is sending you two different messages when you have the finger and when you don't have the finger. The information you learn, the closeness of the color, or that being the same color, instantly evaporates the moment you move the finger. The difference comes back. So as if your brain has learned nothing while the finger was in front of your eye. Your brain has learned nothing. Your brain goes back to saying, same color, different. Same, different. Your brain is trying to tell you that. So I wanted to show you why. What is the significance of this? And there are tons and tons of optical illusion. The important thing to notice here is this. The largest part of the brain is devoted to process optical information. The reason the largest part of the brain is devoted to processing optical information because it has had millions and millions of years to evolve. The frontal lobe, who's telling you that the colors are same, colors are different. Two different messages are given to you. Is evolutionary new. Evolutionary speaking, it's called the neocortex, new cortex. Evolutionary times, it is new. So the reason that the conflict is that your frontal lobe, when it tells you something, you believe it. You know why? You are your frontal lobe. When the frontal lobe is being deceived, you do not know. And here's an example. So if the largest part of the brain is devoted to processing visual information, and yet you cannot process information. Now imagine how little of the brain is devoted to critical thinking. Because in critical thinking, we have not been doing it for several million years, as we have been doing visual processing. That is why it is easy for us to be duped. So here's the occipital lobe. That's where the visual information is processed. The decision making whether the colors are different or the same is done over here. Very little part of the brain is devoted to that. So these are artificial distinctions between the lobes, and they're just basically given by anatomical location where they are. So that's one piece of information I wanted you to know. The second piece of information is here. Now, I want to everybody to raise your both hands. So, yeah, the reason is that, I don't want you to write this down. So, remember these words: candy, sour, sugar, bitter, good, taste, tooth, nice, honey, soda, chocolate, heart, cake, eat, pie. I'm going to say them really quick again. Candy, sour, sugar, bitter, good, taste, tooth, nice, honey, soda, chocolate, heart, cake, eat, pie. Your job is to remember as many of this as you can. Okay? We'll come back to that. All right. Ethology is the study of animal behavior. And this gentleman published the book in 1974. It was a very classic ethology paper. And what he did was, we could learn a lot from turkey. They're not that different. And this paper kind of showed. So there's a turkey. The baby turkey are, somebody pronounce it for me? Poult. Okay, that's what I'm going with. Okay, poult. So that's a baby turkey. These are called the polecat. They are the predators. And what they do is they would eat the poult. So the baby turkeys, the mom would protect it, and the way So what the researchers did was they took a stuffed toy that looks like a little cat, put a tape recorder in there, and it would make a baby turkey sound. So tape recorder is in there, stuffed predator, makes the baby turkey sound, the chirping sound, put the toy in with the real baby turkeys and play. And the turkey would feed it, would take care of it. It's a natural predator. Yet the mother turkey would protect it, try to feed it, try to keep it warm. It's a natural predator. When they take a baby turkey, stuffed baby turkey, put a tape recorder in it, sounds from polecat, the mother turkey would attack that stuffed baby turkey and try to kill it because it is making a sound. So what is it telling you about the turkey brain?
Not very smart.
That is not very smart, it's not very big. But yes,
It uses auditory information instead of visual.
absolutely. Auditory information overrides the visual information. Excellent. Auditory information overrides the visual information when it comes to turkey's behavior. Would humans react differently? So let's see what they did. There's this another study done at Harvard, and the reason I put it there is I'll show you later. It's called the authority argument. Okay? So there is a reason why doctors put MD behind their name. Engineers put it, Derek?
We don't have
Yeah. Well, even if you were a professional engineer, would you put PE? Yeah. But if you're not, you don't put it. Yeah. I was an engineer for a number of years, and I never put engineer at the end of mine. But that's the authority argument. So I start out by telling you what? It's a study from Harvard. You dare not challenge the findings. It's the subliminal message here, okay? Dare not challenge the study, authority argument. This is his name. This is where he published it. Take my word for it. Turkeys at the office. Okay. So here's the experiment. A gentleman is making, for anybody, this is the only office picture I could find that's where he's making coffee. He's making coffee, she comes around, she wants to cut in front of him. She says, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages, may I use the Xerox machine?" She's not giving any reason as to why. What is the result? 60% of the people said sure. This time, they gave because I am in a rush. So first time she just says, I have to make 5 pages, can I use the Xerox machine? 60-something people said yes. Second time, we're giving a reason, because I'm in the rush. Would it be more than 60 or less than 60?
60 or less.
64. Would it be more than that or less?
Less.
You're thinking less.
I think 50.
Less, yeah. So the results was 94% said yes. And I know why some of you said no. That is called expect the unexpected. Yeah. So usually you want to say yes, but it's the George Costanza thing, you know, like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because that is obvious, but if I do that, he's going to trick me. So yeah, we'll see that in a second. So the percentage went up. Okay? All right, let's see. But here's the turkey part. You're going to say, well, obviously, if somebody gives me a reason, I let them go in front of me. Why not? They just gave us a good reason. But here's the turkey part. What if we don't give the reason? Okay. They took out the reason and they replaced it with, but I have to make copies. Is this a new information? No, it's not a new information. Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine? Because I have to make copies. This is not a new information. This is the same information that says, I have to use the Xerox machine. Now you don't know what to say. Is it 90%? Yeah, it was pretty close. If you give a legitimate reason or not, you get better compliance. So they did even more research. They removed all the other words. Yes, sir.
Is this, I forget, when you first started explaining this, there's already somebody using the machine?
Yeah, somebody's using the machine. They're in the middle of making 100 pages. You come and you want to cut in a line.
Yeah. Am I
They removed everything, left the word because. They got the same result. Another word like because is believe. Look at these sentences. Are they giving you any reason why they believe? I know what I believe. I believe to continue to articulate what I believe, because what I believe and what I believe is what is right. Yeah. The word believe, the word right, makes your turkey part come alive. Makes your turkey part come alive. Look at that. Is he giving you new information? Is he giving you new information? What about this guy? I believe in America. There are millions of Americans believe. And America, that's the America that millions of Americans believe in, and that's the America I love. I love! He loves America! Is all he's saying. Is he giving you any information here? You know what? This sounds stupid. But people who write this know about your turkey parts. If I repeat the word morality 5 times, and I even don't tell you what the morality is, your turkey parts will make you think I am advocating morality. Who are you going to argue, or who's going to argue with me when I am advocating morality? I don't tell you what morality is. I don't tell you how I'm going to use it. It's like saying, atheists kill babies. Of course. That's why they don't like you. Who's going to like somebody who kills babies? Nobody. Nobody can argue with me if I love and I believe and millions of people believe, and somehow I'm a popular guy. Because it's not giving you any information. Just like at the Xerox machine. Can I cut in front because I want to make copies? Hey, dude, everybody at the Xerox machine wants to make copies. Nobody ever goes to the Xerox machine to get water. Everybody goes. I see the new information? No. We are using your turkey card. Here, look at this. This is, will you donate organ? Yes or no? Here are the culture. Sweden, 85%. Portugal, 99%. Poland, 99%. Hungary, 99.9%. France, 99.9%. Come to Germany, those Nazis, 12%. British, 17%. This is Denmark. 5%. Are these different cultures? These are similar European cultures. Do they have different values?
They have very socialistic governments.
What about Poland? Hungary?
Well, France in particular does seem very like.
What do they have? What about France and Denmark? What is the big difference?
Better childcare, better.
Okay, all right. So I see what you're saying. You are attributing the differences to some sort of societal characteristic. Yes?
Well, I'm just saying that I'm getting a correlation between Denmark and France in particular.
Okay.
They're relatively similar. I can't quite figure out why they would be less likely to go against it.
Exactly. And here's the turkey part.
Yeah.
These people were asked, check here if you don't want to donate. These people were asked, check here if you want to donate. These people did not check. By default, they became donors. These people had to make a decision and take an action. Here, Don't take an action, automatic compliance. Use your thinking part, then comply. Use your turkey part and comply. Turkey part people comply. Is that mind control? Is that behavior control? What is more important? What is more personal than donating organ? Is that something you would let somebody else decide? All these people do. Thinking is hard, folks. Thinking is hard. Thinking is very hard. Check the box. That's the only difference. Thinking is hard. There is no expedient to which a man will not resort to avoid the real labor of thinking, said this gentleman. 1700 is what he said. Way before the Harvard people figured out. Okay, the authority argument, that's why we use MD, JD, PhD, MD and PhD, MD, PhD and JD, yeah. That's the message, that's the authority argument, okay? And we will see how automatic compliance, authority argument gets you to comply. Do you always have to have credentials? Well, the answer is there. No. Introducing another concept called the social proof. If you don't know what to think, I will tell you. You don't know what to think, I will tell you. How many people in this room will put up with that? All of you? No, answer is none of you will put up with that. But millions and millions of people do. Okay? If you don't know what to think, I will tell you. Here's the gentleman, and I use the word loosely. He grew up here in Missouri, kicked out of the first class, first semester. Not one or two, every single class he took, he flunked. Barely graduated from high school. Today, his bust sits in the Missouri, whatever the courthouse or whatever. Because if you don't know what to think, I will tell you. Social proof. Social proof. Over 1 million sold. Well, I better buy one. Over 1 million sold. It was given away in the goodie bags at the Oscar Award. Oh, it had to be good. They didn't sell it. They just gave it away. So you buy some because chances are you're not going to make it to Oscar Award next year. As seen on TV. Well, if it was on TV, you know, it had to be good. Celebrity endorsement. Hey, his book was in the Oprah's book club. Did Oprah read it? No. Her staff read it, and they told Oprah it was good. Oprah liked the cover. Put it on the That's my dream. Write a crappy book, get it on Oprah, come see Dr. Soni for $425 an hour. Jane Fonda's exercise video. When these videos came out in the 80s, a lot of people started having joint injuries and other injuries. Do you know what the Jane Fonda put out right after that? First aid videos. Like, hey, how about stop making the exercise video? No. If you watch my earlier video, got injured, here's the first aid video. Here, I know you can't read this very well. And you know, no presentation is perfect unless you have a slide that nobody can read. And here's mine. So the idea is that this is an actual ad at economist.com. You have two options. And so this one says 75. I put this, no. Forget about this page. That's why I put it there. I didn't want you to see that. So subscription, $59. And it includes online access to all articles from 1997. Or you could pay $125. You get a 1-year subscription plus the online access, and that's $125. So it's slightly more than double. For the show of hand, how many people want to choose option 1 for $59? So you got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. How about $125? Yeah, nobody. Very good, very good. That's what I was expecting from this guy. Notice what is the information difference? None. It's the same information, yes? Same articles, exactly the same difference. $59 versus $125. If you are the publisher, you want to make more money, what are you going to ask them to buy? You want to buy them. You want them to choose this one. But nobody in this room is choosing it. So this is what happened. 68% chose the cheaper option. 32% chose the expensive option. Now that's not the mind control part. Now I removed it. Now look at the third option. Print edition only, $125. Here you get print plus online for $125. Like what? If I choose this, I only get it in the mail. But if I choose this, I get it in the mail plus I can look it up online. Now what are you going to choose? Anybody for item 2? No, you don't mean that. You can't read it, that's why. So nobody chooses. Because if you choose, unless you don't have a computer, $125, same price. What are you getting something extra here?
The $59 from the first one.
Sorry?
You're getting the first option, which would have cost you $59.
Exactly, you're getting something free. Because if you choose this, you're not getting that. So choose this, and you can get that and that. Look at this. 84% of the people choose the more expensive option. The second item is a dummy item. They don't want you to choose it. They want you to choose the third. What is the advantage in choosing the third?
They get to keep their price.
So is that mind control? Look at this. When you have a 2 option, this is how much people pay more money. When you have 3 options, more people spend more money. How many choose the second option? 0. 0. Nobody chooses that option. Yet, that dummy option controls your behavior. That dummy option controls your behavior. That is a turkey part. That is your turkey part. Is that behavior control? Is that mind control? Getting people to pay something more because they don't want something else. What kind of reasoning is that? I'm going to pay more because I don't want that, and if I buy this, I don't get that, so just stay here. But no, I will buy more because I don't get that. Dummy option. When the bread making machines were going on in the 90s, they made a beautiful machine that was compact, and they said they were not selling it. The engineers thought, maybe I can make it smaller, I can make it more efficient. Marketing people came and they said, no, I want you to make a bigger machine that makes lots of noise and is not that efficient. And put it next to it, keep it exactly the same price or slightly lower. Then they put this dummy machine, they show it to you, this is for $119, but for $10 more, it's only $10 more, you can get this more modern, no. The bulkier machine that made more noise was the newer model. It was a dummy model to get you to buy this model. A steak they would put in on the menu for $39 is the most expensive. Then the second most expensive is $29. Then between the 29 and 34 is not that big of a deal. There will be 11 ounce versus 12 ounce. Everybody buys that $24. The $32 steak, it's a dummy steak. It's designed by the second. Is that mind control? How do you use that now? And the mother of all mind control, sub, below the threshold, subliminal, below the threshold of the conscious perception. It kind of looks odd there for a minute, till you turn it around. Your subconscious mind sees it in it. Well, what's there after Soni? It's just like a Marlboro Man. Is it suspicious that there is no gradation in the color, there is a shadow, and then, well, here is the image that they are hiding. Are you going to this party? What's he doing over there? What about here? What are these guys up to? Looks innocuous. I would go to that party. Does he look like a rocket scientist to you? Why are they putting the rocket launch? Here's another one. What's wrong with this picture? Not very suggestive. Until you take a closer look. Whose arm is that? Turkey parts. Turkey parts are working. Yeah, she's holding a glass of wine until you turn the picture around. Yeah. This is so funny. It is there. You take 3rd Street exit on Highway 50. This ad is there today. I go to work every day, I see this. I'm not kidding you. Take the 3rd Street exit on 50 West. This is there. Who here uses a computer like that, mouse? Ladies, do you have that? I mean, the 2 fingers, do you use like one? No. What is the image? Yeah.
Wait, who got the kids to come out of the bottle like that?
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Ask your doctor about new Levitra. Once you're in the zone, it's good. Ask your doctor if the new choice is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
This is a dual symbol. It represents female genitalia, shape-wise. Male genitalia, we can't keep the flame down. If you see that, if I repeat it, you'll see the flame gets bigger and it stays straight. You can't keep the flame, yeah. Dual symbol. Do you want to know how many millions were spent on coming up with this logo? Yeah, far more than the pharmaceutical research.
Mornings are the start of a brand new day. I play when I wait till almost midday. Afternoons are nice, evenings are okay, but mornings are my favorite time to play. I play before my coffee, I see squirrels fill their cafe. That's why mornings are my favorite time to play.
The last pump is where you hear the water. The last pump is when you hear the water. activating your turkey parts. Evoke emotion. What is the market move? Fear and greed. Why do people sell the stock after it has gone down in price? You're afraid it will go even lower. Hey, did you buy blah blah stock? I made 30% on it. Well, let me buy some today. No, the first thing in a business school, what do they tell me? Buy low, sell high. When it is low, you have fear. You're not going to be able to buy it. You're afraid it will never go up. So you do just the opposite. You do just the opposite. What moves us politically? That is why you all came here. Fear, hope, values, and in-out group dynamics. In-out group dynamics is so fascinating. This needs no explanation. I have 2 minutes left. I want to hurry up. In and out group dynamics. You define the group. You define the group. When I was taking a course for board exam, I would wear Hawaiian shirt. Everybody would laugh at me till I got somebody else to wear the Hawaiian shirt. How did I get him to do that? I went to the local thrift store, bought one for $2 and gave it to him. He felt good that he wore it. The third guy said, hey, nice shirt, you look like him, where did you get it? It's like, oh, he gave it to me for free. And he goes, you gave him shirt for free? Well, how come I didn't get one? It's like, it's funny you mention it, I have another shirt here in the back. If you want it, you should wear it. He goes, yeah, I'll wear it, so I give it to him. So 3 of us are wearing the Hawaiian shirt. The 4th guy comes in and he opposed me wearing Hawaiian shirt. He made fun of me, so I did not buy him one. 3 male, all wearing Hawaiian shirt. All the girls are saying, oh, you guys look so handsome. I think they were talking about me though. All of a sudden the 4th guy says, oh, you don't have a shirt for me? Like, dude, you busted my balls over this Hawaiian shirt. Why am I going to give you Hawaiian? Can you get me? I got him the shirt the next day. He wears it. We have a picture taken. In group, out group, in group, out group. All I have to do is make you out group. That's all I have to do to get your turkey parts to work. I define you out group. My wife and I go for a walk. I don't invite my son, knowing that he wouldn't go. He goes, where are you guys going? We're going for a 2-mile walk, but I don't think you can handle it. So I'm taking your little sister. What do you mean? She can walk and I can't. But, well, it's a little too much for you, son. It's for the strong people. I'm going for a 2-mile walk. If I would ask him to go for a 2-mile walk, today I am so tired. Yeah, in group, out group. You're out of group, you want to be in there. I don't know if you can see this, but
why do you people insist on making us sound like villains?
Your concern over public opinion shows a guilty conscience. Now, what good is that serving you if what is to be done is already underway? I'll leave those. Bring a couple of iceberg wedges, blue cheese, bacon.
So let's say I don't have a guilty conscience.
Good. And let's also say that change is neither good or bad. It simply is. It can be greeted with terror or joy. A tantrum that says, I want it the way it was, or a dance that says, look, it's something new.
Would you draw the line at 50%?
I'm not drawing a line at all. PR people understand this, but they can never execute it. If you don't like what is being said, change the conversation.
Don Draper says, if you don't like what's being said, change the conversation. Change the conversation. He talks about, I didn't finish the clip, but he says, I went to California and everything was brand new. The client wants to tear down the Penn State station and build Madison Square Garden. And everybody's opposed to it. He sells the idea. If you don't like what's being said, change the conversation. he changes the conversation. He changes the conversation.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but that's a doggone season that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know and young enough to do. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair? We'll measure him against the others and with...
Okay, I'll move along. What is this selling? Who is he running against? Tells you nothing. This is a very naive, the birth of the television, political advertising. Very, very, now look at this ad here. And I know some of you are too young to know this, but some of you may know this ad.
These are the stakes. To make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other, or we must die.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
What is he selling?
Nuclear warfare.
Does it say anything about his opponent? Does it say anything about his plan to prevent this from happening? No, there's no information given here. It's a turkey card activation. It's a turkey card activation. Oops, I have to just remember. Next. Oh, we didn't.
We represent the majority of the people in Alabama who hate Negroism, Catholicism, Judaism, and all the isms of the whole world. So said Robert Creer of the Alabama Ku Klux Klan. He also said, I like Barry Goldwater. He needs our help. Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd.
Is the Barry Goldwater a Klan member? What you would think he was. Why? Because some other guy said, I like it. So they put the fear, association, guilt by association, more turkey cards being activated. You don't even have to be a psychiatrist to figure that one out.
While out, many committed other crimes like kidnapping and rape, and many are still at large. Now Michael Dukakis says he wants to do for America what he's done for Massachusetts. America can't afford that risk.
I was angry. I was very angry because I saw through it right away. I saw the ad where they had these guys coming out of prison. And the black guy was the only one who looked up at the camera. So I said, these are diabolical minds behind this thing.
That's the guy to be afraid of. This was calculated to emphasize the one African American here.
Race
is a powder keg. It deserves to be in many ways. And Lee got close to that powder keg and you know, setting off sparks nearby.
This was a piece of literature that was being distributed in a number of states. All the murderers and rapists and drug pushers and child molesters in Massachusetts vote for Michael Dukakis. I thought it was despicable.
Then they had the rape victim, this woman, go on tour and talk about in explicit details what happened during the rape.
Or guilt by association. Some of you work in the government agencies. Who gets released on a prisoner pass or the weekend pass is determined by the parole board. Governor has nothing to do with it. Governor does not get involved in the day-to-day operation of any department. Do they tell you how many people were paroled? Do they tell you how many committed crime?
Michael Dukakis has opposed virtually every defense system we developed. Anti-satellite weapons. He opposed 4 missile systems, including the Pershing 2 missile deployment. Dukakis opposed the stealth bomber and a ground emergency warning system against nuclear attack. He even criticized our rescue mission to Grenada and our strike on Libya. And now he wants to be our commander-in-chief. America can't afford that risk.
The key word here is risk. Does it tell you what the risk is? Doesn't tell you what the risk is. But what is the implied risk? The Canadians are going to invade us? Yeah, but what is the implied risk? Invasion, war. He's not ready. Why? Because he voted against those bills. As if somehow those bills are directly tied in to a person's ability to handle the war. Look at this one. And then
in 1980, Republicans like George Bush promised to make our land-based missiles impenetrable. Yet after 8 years of Republican management and nearly $25 billion, America remains more vulnerable than ever before. We deserve leadership in the Pentagon that will take charge of our defense policy, and a president who will keep faith with the men and women defending our liberties. As your leader, I will create a strong national defense, backed by well-equipped fighting forces and improved readiness. Because in times like these, we can't play politics with our national security. I'm Michael Dukakis, and
how many of you are afraid after listening to that music and listening to that ad? Nobody. There was a pleasant music. He didn't evoke your fear. He didn't evoke your hopes. He didn't evoke anything. He appealed to your rational part. What is missing there? Not appealing to your turkey parts.
You said, quote, if General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler get the bailout that their chief executives asked for yesterday, you can kiss the American automotive industry goodbye. It won't go overnight, but its demise will be virtually guaranteed.
Well, that's exactly right.
For Mitt Romney to say something like this, I'm appalled.
I'll change it. I didn't want you to spend all the time.
Now, when I grew up in Michigan,
Here's
it was exciting to be here.
Change the conversation. Notice how we change the conversation.
Big deal. How in the world did an industry and its leaders and its unions get in such a fix that they lost jobs, that they lost their future? President for years, to the fact that you've got millions of Americans out of work, home values collapsing, people here in Detroit are distressed. I want to make Michigan stronger and better. Michigan's been my home, and this is personal. I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
He's changing the conversation. Did it work for him? Yes, he did. He worked. He won the Michigan. Did you use the word? Did you hear the word fix? He used it 2 times. First time he uses colloquially, how did they get in this fix? Meaning the fix meaning the problem. What kind of language is that? It's a Midwestern. I'm fixing to fix my breakfast. Yeah. How did you get in the fix? I have you in trouble. The second time he uses the word fix as a solution. Is there any accident that those words are used? No. Those words are used specifically to gear towards speaking to the audience. The second thing he uses in this ad is that notice he's not wearing a blue-collar clothes. He's not. Usually he wears a plaid shirt. He's using a white shirt and driving in a car while claiming that he's a pro-Detroit, pro-automotive. That's an imported car that he's driving around in. He is presenting like a mid-level automotive manager. Mid-level automotive manager. That's how this drops. That's how he's promoting himself. He is speaking to that. Oh, no. All right. Now, I want to, hang on 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to say 3 words. Your job is to tell me if these 3 words were on the list of words I read earlier. Taste. Yes. Raise your hands if you think it was in there. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Will you remember number 8, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8. Okay. The second word is point. How many remember that word being on the list? Will you remember 0? The third word is sweet. The rest of you have a poor memory? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people remember the word sweet being in there. And that was not correct. The word sweet was not in there. The words were this. Listen to the words again. And I'll tell you why you remember the word sweet being in there. Candy, sour, sugar, bitter, good, taste, tooth, nice, honey, soda, chocolate, cake, eat, pie. Your memory, your brain fills it in. Your brain fills it in. The word sweet was not in the list. All the words around the word sweets are in there, and therefore you remember. These images evoke emotions. Yes? What does this have to do with that? The emotions are evoked based on your faulty memory. The emotions are evoked on your faulty memory. When he shows you the picture of Willie Horton, what is he showing you? A scary-looking black man with the afro. He's looking in your eyes, and that scares you. Why? You have seen plenty of movies from the 70s where the black villain or had afro. They look like that. It's faulty memory that he's trying to associate. He's also trying to target only those people who have seen bad movies from the 70s where the villain was black man with an afro. He's specifically targeting those white people. When he shows that car going by, where the children are running and chasing the car, that car is from 1960s. Those children that were being raised in 1960s, that's what he's targeting. Everybody remembers going back to your pleasant childhood where everything was so fine, manicured lawn. People, they say, oh, when I was a kid, life was so good. Let's go back to those simple era. And I say, what, you mean like segregation? No, life was good. And what was so good about it? Well, you didn't have to work. You didn't have to pay bills. You were a kid. Everything was so wonderful. This phenomenon never fails. And I'll take the question in a minute. When my father tells me, you know, the Indian movies in my days were so good. And then I tell my kid, the crap you watch, the Indian movies were so good. And it was so funny that we went out to lunch the other day with 3 kids who were born and raised in America, and he tells me, you know, the movies these days are awful. I'm like, dude, you're 22. and he goes, yeah, but the movies in the 90s were awesome. He'll be telling his kids, and his kids will be telling them, we remember the good things. We don't remember the poor things. So what is it that they want to do? Go back to the good old days. Your O'Reilly will tell you go back to all good old days. The good old days weren't that good. Good old days weren't that good. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. Thank you.